One. Hey everybody, Coach Drew here with the BU Stay True program. I hope everyone is safe and doing well. I'm here with another coach on our episode of Coach's Corner, Miss Kayla Morrissey. How are you doing, Kayla?
Hi, Drew. I'm doing great. How are you? Excited to be here.
I'm doing well, and I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited for our kids and their parents to hear your story, your development with basketball, and even what you're doing now for the youth in your community. So let's just get started. I know you from our experience studying abroad. We were in different parts of Ireland, but we were both doing the same thing, pursuing a master's, playing pro ball, and impacting the youth. How did basketball get into your life, and where are you from, too?
Yeah, so I'm over here right now. I'm in Chicago area, Chicago. So I'm in a suburb called Burr Ridge, Illinois, about 30 minutes from the city. So I started playing basketball when I was about 8 years old. And right away, I thought it was about the best thing I'd ever done. Before that, I had just been dribbling around in the driveway, but then we got the hoop set up. I got on a team when I was about 8. And so from there, it was just kind of, I fell in love with it. And then, yeah, I had a bunch of great coaches along the way, middle school basketball, high school, college, and then I ended up over in Ireland with you. So the journey was awesome, but I started out as a little 8-year-old with huge dreams, and I got to accomplish some of them. So very thankful for that.
Yeah, 100%. And I've always, talked to family and friends, we have been using basketball as like our instrument to get us to certain places, to play at the big shows type of thing. For you, throughout your upbringing, I'm from New York City. How can you compare basketball in your area? What is it like? Are people more fundamentally focused? Are people more focused on the showcasing of their skills? Are there more shooters? Like, what's the game like over there?
Yeah, so it's interesting. Like, I kind of compare like the game in the U.S. to Ireland a little bit now.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
I do that too.
having experienced those two scenarios, and I've never been to New York and watched a basketball game over there, or watched street ball over there, so I don't have much to compare to in that sense. But at least the program I'm working for now, as far as AAU, we're huge on fundamentals. So we'll do if we had an hour and 15 practice session, we got 30 minutes of fundamentals, a bunch of scrimmaging, and then a small segment towards tactics. So I think a lot of players, there's so many teams in the Chicago area and in this greater suburban area, and AAU is just getting huge over here.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of AAU teams are trying to take a step back these past few years and say, well, we want these kids to get exposure and to get to the college level, but we also want to develop them and make them, good fundamental players. So I think there's a little bit of a shift in mindset there, rather than, just get scholarships, get out there, get playing, to a little bit more fundamentals based, I would say.
That's awesome that you're starting from the ground, working your way up, developing these young student athletes the correct way so they can eventually, have the type of career that you had. And with that, I want to jump into your experiences throughout basketball. I talked with all the other coaches and, some of our young student athletes and their parents. They may be dealing with adversity right now or throughout their career. Were there any specific points when you think back, wow, I didn't think I could get through that, but now looking back, hindsight, I'm proud that I went through that adversity?
Yeah, I would say, probably during the time, in my prime, college recruiting phase of playing high school and AAU basketball, it's a stressful time. I don't know if you went through it, Drew, but
no AAU over here.
Oh yeah, okay. We got a big AAU infrastructure over here, and so I was playing travel basketball, travel softball, both of those in high school as well. So it was a very busy time, and I was so kind of focused on that goal of getting to play at the college level, and I was getting a little bit run down, in a sense, and felt a lot of pressure, from external things, from myself putting pressure on myself. But I powered through it, and advice as to how I did it. I guess I just stayed focused on my goal, and then I kind of shifted towards I want to get to the college level, but I got to have fun. I got to be present in the moment too. And I think that helped me out, along with my support system of my parents and everything. But yeah, so if you're at that level, push through it, and and you'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. Set a goal, stay focused on that. And I love how you said stay focused on the moment, right? Enjoy the present, enjoy the moment, right? We don't know what's going to happen in the future, but if we continue to work small little steps within our goals, eventually we will get there. But enjoy the ride while you're there, type of thing.
definitely.
You hinted on it a little bit. You talked about, having a good support system and having motivating factors. Were there any coaches, parents, siblings, mentors that motivated you throughout your career playing basketball?
Yeah. So I would say like, my parents and my sibling, like they're not too heavy into sports or heavy into basketball. So they're like
How
my
many,
at-home
what's your
support.
family like? How big is your family?
So big extended family, but I just got one brother. His name's Sean. He's a year older than me. He actually just graduated law school. So go Sean. And then I got my mom and dad here at home as well. So small immediate family, but my dad got like 9 brothers and sisters. So big kind of extended support system for me as well. Nobody in the family was really huge into sports. So that was kind of like my thing. And I had a lot of uncles and aunts come and see me play throughout the years. So excited to kind of have everyone behind me there. And in terms of, specific basketball motivation, like I'd say my coaches along the way, super, super helpful in motivating me, and then also making me want to give back and want to coach now. So like specifically, my college basketball coach, Coach Harold, shout out, Grinnell College. She kind of like, I was actually her first recruit at Grinnell like a week after she got the job. She was super excited, new coach, and I was super excited too. So she kind of took me in, and I got like throughout my college experience, I got so much better in 4 years. Like I couldn't think back and think I could have gotten that much better. So it's great to have that person just there every step of the way with the development and helping me become a better leader and communicator as well. So.
Wow, 100%. It sounds like you had a great motivational group, whether it might be an uncle, a parent, coaches that kind of followed you throughout your career in basketball. And with the opportunity to go abroad overseas in Ireland, can you let everyone know where you were placed and what, where that is in relation to Dublin? Because everyone knows Dublin. So
yeah, for sure. So I was placed in Galway, and that's about, if you fly into Dublin, the big airport there, you take a bus 2 hours west to the west coast of Ireland, and that's where Galway kind of is, the Midwest region there of Ireland. So, yeah, I mean, you did it too, Drew. It was an incredible experience. It was a great year. You really learn a lot about yourself when you're thrown into a new culture, new country, and it was so fun to play there and to also coach in those communities there as well. So.
Yeah, you hit it right there, and I'll tell you to keep going. Coaching in those communities, showing the young lads, as they say over there, basketball and how it changed their life is basically the message of sport changes life. How we use basketball to get in better positions, to have better results, things like that. What was your experience like coaching the youth over there?
Yeah, so I think a lot of us victory scholars that got sent over there had different experiences with in terms of coaching. So some people were with teams, some people were with schools. Like I had a bit of a mix of different things. So I was in a few different schools, just kind of using basketball as a way to get the kids moving and to get them motivated a little bit. So I would go into a school like once per week, and that would be their segment of, say PE here in the US. Like that would be like their physical activity of the day. It was me coming in and showing them basketball. So I did that about once per week in a couple of schools. And that was super fun just because, it's not all basketball playing kids, right? So I was able to show them something new and to maybe, spark that interest in a new sport. So I really liked working in the schools. And then I did some work with the 14U developmental team for Basketball Ireland out in Galway. So that was awesome. A little bit more like high skill there because they've been playing basketball their whole life. So 14U group. And then some just different camps and different visits with some other teams as well. Kind of some random stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, everything helped me grow in my coaching, I think. I learned a lot from the kids. And hopefully they took something from me as well. So
yeah, that's the way I look at it too. The experience in Ireland, it gave us a total different experience to bring over back to the States. And I know I'm using it. I know you're using it as well. And you hit something there that I want to continue to talk on. You had the kids moving, right? So that was their one PE class for the day. Was it also like the one PE class, like low key for like the week 2 or?
I think It could have been. I think it was kind of like their maybe like art/PE type class thing where it could have been some other activity that they were doing.
Got it.
Not necessarily physical activity. So yeah, maybe.
Got you. Yeah. So like right now we're in quarantine. People probably haven't been moving for the past 3 to 4 months, right? New York, we're moving on to we're moving on to phase 1, and hopefully throughout the summer we could get, outside. I don't know if rims have been put up outside in the courts yet, but we're using this virtual camp, right? We could cancel, but we're using this virtual camp for opportunity for, kids to get outside, get active. Even if you don't play basketball, this is your opportunity to get a good workout in and also learn some important things from different figures throughout the states, right? What have you been doing throughout this quarantine pertaining to basketball with either your team, your friends, to stay in shape and to also make sure that each one of them are doing something basketball related?
Definitely. So I'll start with my team. I'm coaching a 14U team right now, AAU for Flow Basketball Academy. So that's been awesome. And, the first.
All girls, boys?
All girls, yep. All girls, 14U group. So we got, I don't know when exactly we got shut down here, pretty much hardcore lockdown like New York, but sometime mid-March. So we had about 2 weeks of practice in gyms before that. And then basically, we couldn't go to gyms anymore. So about a week or two after, quarantine started, we started doing these Zoom workouts. And basically what it is, it was like 30-minute ball handling and agility sessions, high intensity, just to keep them moving, keep them in shape, and then also keep them seeing each other and keep that team camaraderie going. So we started doing like 3 to 4 of those per week. Then we started adding in Zoom shooting workouts, which is a little bit different because I'll basically demonstrate something and then I watch them for a couple minutes, try to make some critiques and stuff like that. And now we're finally, we're into phase 3 here in Chicago, so we get to go outside. So this past week, we had them outside doing some running, doing some non-contact drills. So it's good to have the group back together, for sure. And then in terms of me, I've just been like downloading new apps and stuff. I got my Fit On app, my Peloton app. Yeah, but I'm learning there's this whole like new different way to work out that I hadn't considered. Like I was always someone go to the gym, do my hard running. 100%. Yeah, pick up the heavy weights, pick up the huge bars, but like you could do so much with like a 10-pound dumbbell. Like it's crazy. So I'm learning a new way to work out and I kind of like it a lot, but I'm going to be happy when the gyms open back up too.
100%. And you've been doing these Zoom workouts and, I was fortunate enough to join one of them and just see, and I'm telling everyone out there, parents and kids, Kayla had at least 20 plus girls on that call. And they were all like this, like ready to go, like at 10 a.m. And I was just so inspired because I'm like, you know what? Kids still want to get in their workout. Kids still want to get better. So like that little moment right there, me waking up and getting on that call, I was like, nah, I can't cancel camp because I know there's kids like that in the Bronx for sure. In Ireland, maybe throughout the States that just want to get outside and do something. So I'm looking forward to that. And you mentioned it right there. You talked about doing dribbling drills, but you also talked about shooting, right? We're going to have you do the shooting station at camp after our coaches corner discussion, right? It's going to be different. It's going to probably be weird. It's probably going to, it's not what we're used to. But if you could give some insight to the parents and the kids that may be watching this, what is the shooting workout going to look like? What do you envision for everyone who's coming to the camp?
Yeah, definitely. So I got to put more structure into my thinking as well. But Drew and I have been going back and forth with a couple ideas so far just for, form shooting. And I think that's where my focus is going to be, form shooting. It's such an important, fundamental piece of basketball. And it is hard to get that form shooting right at a young age because your arm strength isn't as much. Yeah. Right. Push it a little bit with 2, maybe from the shoulder. But as early as you can, just start working on those mechanics, especially when you're right, like near the basket. That's what a lot of my form shooting probably is going to be. It's going to be starting close to the basket just so we can get that form right. Then we'll take a few steps back once we can knock those down, So it's going to be progressive, and I'm going to give a few drills for maybe the kids that are tuning in that, there's no hoops in New York still up. So we're going to have some drills where maybe we're just laying down, flicking our wrist, following through. Maybe we're standing up, going slow motion, and making sure our knees are coming up and our hips are in line with the ball. and stuff like that. Just getting back to the basics, and then we'll have a few drills for people that do have access to hoops too. So I want to make it so that we can adjust it to both ways.
Perfect. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Does that sound good, Coach Drew?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's comforting to see, like we don't just choose anybody for no reason, right? We've had a great staff every year, and we changed the times as well. Our first year we only had 25 kids, so we only needed 4 coaches, and the 4 coaches were myself, Nico, my boy Matt Zarnock, and my boy Emmanuel, and that was just because that was who was around me, who was in my basketball community, and each year it's progressively gotten bigger. And with this year going virtual, there's no question Victory Scholars had to be a part in some capacity, because I know how everyone's been, training over in Ireland and doing the work over there, because I've seen the work, and I know each one of you are still connected with basketball in some aspect. So the camp that we're going to put together July 19th is just going to be life-changing to some degree, but ultimately it's going to be something that's monumental, and I'm looking forward to it so much. So Kayla, I thank you for that. I've been asking all the coaches top 5 NBA, WNBA players that you enjoy watching. Not necessarily the best, but just a top 5 of a mixture of both, if you have, throughout your life. Like, why do you like watching them and things like that? No specific order either.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. So we just finished up watching the Michael Jordan documentary, and I'm from Chicago, so I got to give a shout out there.
Right, you're right.
Honestly, we didn't really grow up in the Jordan era, so I didn't get to see much of him. So I saw a lot of him playing on the documentary, and I went back and I watched some tape of him, and he's incredible. He can fly. And he was top for that era. So I'll give a shout out to Michael Jordan. WNBA, Elena Deladon. So good. Like all around player. I always tried to play like her, I guess, but I'm nowhere near her. But she's posting up, she's handling the ball. That was always my goal. I was like, I don't necessarily want to be a point guard, but I want to have point guard skills, even if I'm down low, because she can do it all. So who else? Elena Deladon, Courtney Vandersloot. She plays for the Chicago Sky. Another Chicago person, big fan. She gets triple doubles all the time, assist queen, so good handling the ball. A little bit different than the way I play, but I respect point guards so much. It takes so much to be a point guard. Other NBA players, Kobe Bryant. You've been doing your series, Drew.
Yeah, that's the dude.
Incredible. Mamba mentality. So inspirational. Who else we got? Derrick Rose, another Chicago one.
I get it. You're staying consistent with Chicago. I definitely want to hear why Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, I would just say explosive. I don't know, people say Russell Westbrook, quick, explosive. I think Derrick Rose in his prime, pre-injury, oh my God, so explosive and just very inspirational for, kids growing up in the midst of, tough things in Chicago at some time. So a great inspirational story there from Chicago. So
that's a good top 5. That's a really good diverse top 5 besides the Chicago point. I'm just playing with you there. But I've been talking to all the coaches obviously with these interviews, and I told Simone on the last one, each one of you have been picking players that play to your style in some type of way, right? And you enjoy watching them because you enjoy learning, right? They each have something to gain from that. And for you, I just wanted to know, have you learned any, life lessons from some of these basketball players? Because, we see basketball is coming back at the end of August, right? We've been watching, we're on social media, we see things like that. Has there been any, thing that you could recollect to that you were wow, that was really inspiring. I want to add that to my game, or wow, he has a really good, outlook on this. I think I'm gonna, take a different spin on this type of thing. Anything like that?
Picking up from the pros, let me think. I'd say just focusing on turning weaknesses into strengths. My left hand, I think every year of college, improving my left hand was one of my main goals. And my coach and I would talk about it every year going into the summer. And I was working on it, I was trying to do it. But I love driving right, and I'm so used to driving right. So that was my goal.
Go to the well.
Found it right, exactly. So I mean, that was my goal, like trying to turn my left hand into a strength, and that gave me, something like concrete to think about. And I did get better at my left hand, every year. Every year I was still still driving my right hand more, but I was more comfortable going left, maybe taking a few more drives left. So just like looking at the pros and just the 5 I listed, even just seeing how comfortable they are going both ways, it makes you like have that drive where, I need to be going both ways a little bit more too. So just watching and learning from them, it's huge.
100%. I appreciate that. I appreciate that insight as well. To wrap up this interview, right, we've been in quarantine for about 3 months. Hopefully throughout the summer, we could start going outside and everything like that. If you could give one piece of advice to our young hoopers out there, whether they may be in the States, Ireland, and their parents with this quarantine, whether it may be personal or whether it may be, basketball related, what would be that one piece of advice for them?
Yeah. It's a weird time right now to be living in this country, especially. And shout out to everyone all over the world. It's a weird time for the world too. So I just say, like, find that thing where you can escape. Like for me, it's, working out, or maybe it's coaching, using basketball just to kind of shut off for like however much time it would be. Because, everyone's on their phones, and even the girls, like even my 14U girls are on their phones, seeing what's happening in the world. So if I have like 30 minutes on Zoom with them where I can just, turn their mind off from the world and escape into something, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to put my all into it. So whenever you have that time, that 30 minutes, that hour, go full into that escape, turn your phone off, get it away, and just invest into that self-improvement or just that enjoyment and whatever that is.
Thank you for that, Kayla. I'm about to go run. I'll be completely honest on this. I probably haven't ran in the last 2 weeks, just kind of discouraged. I have been doing the pull-ups and some push-ups.
There you go.
I think you just motivated me as well. 30 minutes, just leave the phone at home and just get it done. And for the young hoopers out there, I hope you enjoyed this interview. The parents as well, I hope you enjoyed this interview with Coach Kayla. As you can see, she is a great, great person, and I cannot wait to have her on board July 19th at our 6th annual BU Stay True Basketball Summer Camp. For more information, you can visit our website at www.bustaytrueprogram.com. We have all the social media links there, information, and all that jazz. Coach Kayla, I thank you so much, and we'll see everybody soon, and see you on July 19th. See you guys.
Thank you, guys. Bye.